On behalf of the Professional Baseball Strength and Conditioning Coaches Society, I'd like to welcome you to the PBSCCS podcast. I'm your host, Chris Messina.
All right, everybody, I'm here with Phil Wilson, the president of Relax Saunas. Phil, thank you for coming on. Tell the listeners about yourself and about your company, please.
Well, I have a degree in mathematics, an honors degree, and 4 years of graduate school in mathematics. And so I've always been into creativity and always been alert. I was a fanatical baseball fan when I was a little kid. I got to see Ted Williams at Comiskey Park. I was a kid growing up in Gary, Indiana, near Chicago. So on my birthday every year, the Red Sox and the White Sox would play, and I'd get to go to Comiskey Park and watch a ball game. And so I always dreamed of having great catches, home run in the bottom of the ninth with the bases loaded with 2 strikes on. And that was, I was really a fan of baseball. But I got into health foods in 1970, 71. I had an out-of-body experience and then Kundalini awakening. So that they got me very, very sensitive to how my body worked. And since I was always into creativity, I was always looking for how to, be at my peak experience at all times. And of course, anyone in any sports, they want to be at their peak. And so, it's like a perfect fit. I opened up a health food store in 1980 since I couldn't do math anymore. So I started selling herbal vitamins in 1976. And then in 1980, I opened up a health food store and I started selling to health professionals, health food stores, and had my own store. And I would sell Chinese herbal combinations, superfoods like spirulina, chlorella. I was selling green powders in 1984. Medicinal mushrooms, and anything that would put my head in the right place. A friend of mine sent me a book the other day called The Mental Game of Baseball. And so, you're just learning to be in the present moment. And it's beautiful because the Relax Sauna that you can see in back of me, one of its attributes is it gets you into the present moment where there's no time. And I have a quasi definition of time, of pain. It's called the awareness of time. Have you ever hurried? Have you ever worried? Have you ever waited? And so when this activates the parasympathetic, like, oh my gosh. And so many people are in the now, and that's when it flows through you. That's when a baseball player is in the zone. They can't do any wrong. It's like they're tuned in and it's magic. And so that's, and also, what's really nice about the Relax Sauna is you want to improve performance, and you want to improve recovery, and you want to be in that space where you're not going to get injured. And so the Relax Sauna helps for all those. But going back to how I got started is I've always been in love in saunas. When I was 16, I experienced saunas as, oh my gosh, the dripping of sweat, and each drop made you feel more energized and more energized and more awake and more clear. And I love that clear feeling. I was drafted to go out for cross country running when I was a sophomore in high school, because the coach saw me, said, I want to see you at 4 o'clock after school. I said, oh, what did I do? He says, you're going out for cross country. You know how to run. I was 12th man in an 11-man team. And then I just got caught up on it was a 10-man team with one alternative. And I was the 12th man. And as a sophomore, that wasn't too bad. And I probably could have made the team the last couple of years, but I preferred tennis. But I had so much academics, I didn't go out for any sports. But my father was a track star locally, just in the city. So I'm very athletic. I'm short, like, a good thing, like people like Altrupi to make me feel good about myself. I'm about 5'6" 3/4. But and I played second base. But So I've been selling massage tools, and I even got inducted into the World Massage Festival Hall of Fame in 2015, even though I've never charged for massage, but I was selling hundreds and hundreds of massage tools, and that's how I made my living, selling to health food stores. And then I was at a biological dentist conference in Las Vegas in 2000, which I happen to live now. I moved here 6 years ago from Columbus, Ohio. And I went to the next day there was a spa show. So I went to the spa show, and one of my massage tool suppliers was there, and they had a portable sauna. I said, "Oh my God, I can't believe you can have a sauna in your home." I mean, I was just so excited. And that was my Baroque period. You know, before the classical period, you have the Baroque period. Well, it took me a year to be able to afford to purchase one. And a year later I did. And then a year later I got after putting, I went on and on and on. I had a website because I was selling tons of massage tools on the internet. I had a website with a sauna on, and I got a call from Taiwan, the makers of the Relax Sauna. And they said, ours is technologically more advanced and much more therapeutic. I said, okay. And they gave me a good price. So they sent me one, and arrived 2 days later from Taiwan. I guess they sent it Federal Express, and everyone loved it. It was way, way different. So much more, felt so much better, and it worked so much quicker than the Amazon-like sauna that I had. And so, you know, basically I was sort of given the torch, and for the last 22 years, I've been promoting the Relax Sauna as pretty much the United States distributor. And it's been an art. We sold 6,000 saunas last year. In 2021, we sold 4,000 only. In 2019, we sold 2,000. So the company is growing with leaps and bounds. And I'll let you ask me some more questions, and then I'll continue. But you know, let me just say that I moved from Columbus to Las Vegas, and I was on the road. I've done about 20 shows, 25 shows every year for the last 22 years, promoting mainly the sauna. And I left my 5 people running my health food store in Columbus, Ohio. They ship all the saunas out, and I'm just enjoying Las Vegas. This is my heaven, 100 days in a row where the temperature reaches 100 degrees. So I like it hot. So what a beautiful product that I can promote. And what's exciting is that it gets you into the now. And I've been into this ever since 1971. How to be mellow, how to be clear, how to be energized, how to be aware. And boy, the Relax Sauna, it's like a step down version of Divine Love in a box. When people first go in, they say it feels like my grandma's giving me a loving hug. It feels like you're on the beach in Hawaii, and it's a pleasure. And again, we've been at 3 or 4 of the PBSSC conferences. We work, you know, Matt Krause, we met him about 4 years ago, I think, and he bought a Relax Sauna from us. And it's in his house, and his daughter uses it, the whole family uses it, and he was nice enough to introduce us to you, and I'm grateful.
Yes, I'm grateful to have you on, number one. Number two, shout out to Kraus. He is in that sauna all the time. I see it on his social media all the time. Number three, this has nothing to do with the sauna, but it's really cool that you are selling all of those products in the 70s and 80s. So maybe we'll have to have another talk about the health food side of things.
Yes.
But going along with the sauna, so there's a ton of health experts out there. There's a ton of podcasts. There's a ton of information coming out about saunas. And if I'm not mistaken, the Relax Sauna is a far infrared sauna. So can you explain the difference there, and then what the benefits are of using that far infrared?
Well, the original book that came out in 2001 that spawned the industry for far infrared saunas was by Dr. Sherry Rogers, and it's called Detoxify or Die. Dr. Sherry Rogers was an environmental medical doctor, and people with multi-chemical sensitivities and environmental concerns were left to dead by the medical establishment. So they came, they made a beehive or a beeline to Dr. Sherry Rogers, and she was able to get them all healthy using far infrared saunas. These were the wooden infrared, far infrared saunas that were popular in the late 90s or were just coming out. And she basically, with her book Detoxify or Die, it's pretty much 3/4 of the book is on far infrared saunas. And of course, you know, I mean, I've been in the health food industry since 1973, basically. And there's a book that came out in 1931 by Tilden, I think John Tilden, and he said basically toxemia or toxins is the cause of all disease. And it's common sense because if you have a good, clean engine, that's going to work better than a dirty engine. And you know, when I mean, I way back, I got into fasting in 1971. I didn't have a choice because I couldn't eat anything because of the experience I had where all my cells were like electrified and then they were cleansed, and so I couldn't eat anything heavy. And I was pretty much living on dates and figs and cashews for about 9 months as 80% of my diet, then doing maybe a little bit of yogurt, grapefruit, brown rice. I don't know. I don't know what the hell was going on, but I got introduced to herbs back then. But all I can say, I was having the time of my life. I was doing meditation and yoga for 6 hours every morning. I was taking courses on existentialism and Plato. I was a graduate student in math. And they let me, I couldn't do the math, so they let me take philosophy and psychology course. I even took a dance course, modern dance class. And so that I could, anyway, what happened is eventually I taught high school math for a year in a school for pregnant girls. And then I came back to Columbus for Ohio State University to do more graduate work. And I didn't get my degrees that I was expected to. So I had to start selling herbal vitamins full time. And that was great because I've had so much fun this lifetime. And again, it's like being in the moment. I mean, I was meditating way back in 1997, and this is what they said. They said momentum. And then they said taking advantage of the moment and propelling yourself into greatness. And taking advantage of the moment is living in the moment and listening. And when you're listening, there's a new wave that comes by. You jump in front of the wave, and it propels you into greatness. So that's what I really enjoy doing. I've had a lot of insights. I'm writing a book called Pictures of the Mind, freeing yourself from beliefs that no longer serve you. Now, if you're a baseball hitter and you've got a belief that you have, it's like learning to just get back in the moment and get tuned in and listening. If you're a pitcher, again, it's the same thing. If you're a fielder, it's learning to get the jump on the ball. And I mean, it's no fun when you're just in right field and the ball comes to you and you catch it. It's fun when you can run 100 feet, 200 feet and dive and make the catch. That's what we live for, I think.
In terms of baseball now, how have you seen the relaxed saunas impact major league clubhouses? Are there a lot of teams using them? Is it more individuals using them? I mean, you said you guys sold 6,000 saunas last year, so you're doing something right, like the business is growing. So
Yeah.
specifically in regards to baseball, how has the sauna been impacting the clubhouses?
Well, we have, let's see, we've got one team that's really been on it for the last 3 years. That's the Dodgers. The year before they had 111 victories, they bought, I think, 5 or 6 saunas from us, and they used them sparingly, and they used them sparingly the last year. And this year they learned them, they used them a lot more. As a matter of fact, they asked us to send it next day air 2 saunas to their hotel near Met City Field for the championship series. And they had one at the hotel to help people sleep. And they had another one they used in the weight room, but it was so cold, they had it in the walkway between the dugout and the locker room. And I got a picture of Gavin Lux in the sauna, there. I also have the Red Sox ordered a couple, the Reds ordered a couple. I got a picture of Tanner Houck, him, in the sauna. He seemed to enjoy it. And I know I think the Pirates bought a couple and Brewers bought a couple and the Reds bought 5 of them or 6 of them recently. I know AJ Puck I talked to, he'd been using the sauna for a couple of years, and got Brandon Williamson got a sauna from us, and I noticed that Kenley Jensen's wife ordered 2 saunas from us, but I couldn't get them to respond. I texted, said, "How do you like it?" And I don't know if he was using it at home or what, but it's like it's it's just learning to know someone like you or Matt, and somehow when people trust you and you say, "Damn, I used it, it was incredible," that's what we need more of. And I basically go to the holistic doctors, the naturopathic doctors, the functional medicine doctors. We do a lot of those shows, and we have a lot of famous doctors within that realm who promote and tell that the relax sauna is by far the most effective and most therapeutic. And that's in comparison to all the other portable saunas, but also in comparison to the wooden infrared saunas that sell for 5, 6, 7, 8,000.
So let's talk specifically about the sauna itself now. So you say that it's portable. Kind of give me the rundown on, is it foldable? Is there a package that you put it in? Is it like just to put it in the clubhouse? And then, I mean, I can see the one behind you, but if anybody's listening and they're not watching the video, you guys have the ones where the head sits out of the sauna. Do you also have one where the full body sits in? Kind of just talk about the product itself.
Yes. Well, frankly, the relaxed sauna is really the only portable sauna in the world, in the sense that it will fit in a suitcase. It will fit in a regular 28-inch suitcase as long as it's 21 inches wide, not 19 inches wide. But you don't have to take the chair. You can really use any chair. And so it all comes in a carrying bag that's I should have a picture of it here, but I don't. But the carrying bag you can put on your shoulder. It weighs about 18 pounds. The tent can be folded so it looks like it's maybe an 18-inch to 20-inch square, and it folds and it fits in the bag along with the radiator. The radiator weighs 4 pounds. It's a double radiator, and the tent weighs 4 pounds. We also have the Black Pro sauna that most of the teams have all gotten. The Black Pro saunas cost a little bit more, but it's got a beautiful logo on it, and it's twice as thick. And now what's interesting about the relaxed sauna is that we're the only sauna that uses a principle of light called reflection. That means the tent acts as a mirror, because far infrared light, a cat lies in the sun, the far infrared light is facing you and it goes through our bodies. It goes through, and see, what's very interesting is that, okay, when you go out into the sun on a hot day, even on a cold day, but when the sun is really hot and you close your eyes and you sit there and you feel this deep searing heat into your body, to your core, that's what far infrared energy is. Okay, and it's not ultraviolet. Ultraviolet does not resonate with the human body. As a matter of fact, we are far infrared light beings, and we emanate invisible far infrared light, and water is a far infrared molecule, and it generates far infrared light and absorbs far infrared light. So there's a book by Dr. Toshiba Yamasaki called The Science of Far Infrared Therapy. It's hard to get. It's written in Japanese, and we haven't been able to get it, but it's quoted a lot. And she says in the book that upon application of the 7 to 14 micron frequency of far infrared light, it causes the water molecules in our body to vibrate. And when it vibrates, that weakens the ionic bonds, and water clusters. And so the clusters sometimes hold trapped poisonous gases, and these are released. And so they go into the system. And then what happens is Hippocrates is ready to chime in, because it's going to increase your body temperature. Because if all the water molecules in your body are vibrating, it's like 100 people in a small room dancing. It's going to get hot. your body temperature is going to get hot, and you're basically going to have a sort of like a fever, but you won't feel sick or anything. And this is where Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, chimed in. He says, find me a way to create fever and sweat, and I will cure any disease. So when you create a fever inside the body, and there's lots of energy medicine machines out there, they're all wonderful. We go to many of these conferences where there's a lot of exhibitors and people are exhibiting them all. But the only one that resonates and vibrates with the water molecules, far infrared ray, because you vibrate, the frequency is 9.4 microns. We, mammals and birds, all vibrate at 9.4 microns, and water vibrates at 8 microns. Now, our body is, I think 79% of our cells are water, but 99% of our body is water, according to Dr. Jerry Pollack in the book, The Fourth Phase of Water. And he also says that far infrared light increases a frequency of water called easy zone water. And the far infrared also, when it goes to the plants, it gives the plant the power to move and to bend. So the far infrared light resonates with the 8 micron water, the 9.4 micron, and Dr. Yamasaki said 7 to 14 is the ideal frequency that vibrates your water molecule. So we were tested in Taiwan 1998, or it took 10 years for the Relax Sauna company from 1987 to 1997 to develop a semiconductor chip that gives you, it feels like you're at a hot springs in southern Japan where people go to get healed. And so it took us 10 years to do this. And it turns out they measured it. It was all between 4 and 14 microns. They measured it again, and it was between 7 and 14 microns again. We sent the Relax Sauna to Polytechnic University, and they did it for 60 minutes and said it was all between 7 and 14 micron frequency. And we sent it to Harvard, MIT Science and Technology Lab. They gave us the same report. We sent 2 other saunas to them, and the expensive $1,300 sauna pretending to be us, portable sauna, they measured from 1.2 to 6 microns. And the Amazon sauna was 0.95 to 1.32 microns. So not all saunas are alike. We had 3.5 times the penetration intensity than the $1,300 sauna, and 4.5 times of the Amazon sauna. And there's a detox specialist in Las Vegas. And after she bought a sauna, a year later, I delivered another sauna to her because one of her clients wanted it. And she said, no saunas are not alike. She gave away her $1,300 sauna. She gave away her higher dose blanket because they left her depleted of energy. And the Relax Sauna, after 25 minutes, left her totally revitalized and detoxed. So there's a big difference between saunas, and we rebranded recently, and we point out that the wavelength is what matters. Just like it's the wavelength, and we have 100% of the active ingredient in the Relax Sauna. And I was shocked that $1,300 sauna was 8% far infrared, 37% mid, and 55% near. And the Amazon sauna was 100% near. And people have questions. They question red light, near infrared light. What's the difference? And there's a guy named Matt Justice. He has a website, and he compares portable saunas and wooden saunas. He says the more far infrared you have in your sauna, the more therapeutic it is. And that's what we've been saying for 22 years, that we are truly a far infrared sauna, and that when a company talks about being full spectrum or whatever, they're simply admitting that they can't get full all far infrared ray because they don't have the computer technology. Because Planck's law says you can't do it, but he wasn't. He was assuming they didn't have computer technology there. But with computer technology, we can give you 100% pure of the active ingredient, and that's why this one guy on Reddit.com, he tested 2 Amazon saunas. They increased body temperature 0.5 degree in 25 minutes. He first got a $200 sauna and didn't do anything for heart rate variability. So he bought a $500 Amazon sauna and got the same results. And he was comparing it to the research on far infrared saunas. There's a lot of research on far infrared saunas. And later on, we can talk about the difference between red light, near infrared, and far. But and then he got the relaxed sauna, increased body temperature 3.2 degrees in 25 minutes. But what really excited him is the heart rate variability. And you know a lot about that, don't you? We talk more about that. You can tell me more. But basically, the heart rate variability he got with the results with the relaxed sauna put to shame what the wooden saunas were able to produce in terms of heart rate variability increase. We were significantly more. And he says, I'd like to recommend the Amazon saunas, but I can't. They don't do what the relaxed sauna does. They don't do the job the relaxed sauna performs far better than the wooden infrared saunas. So now I'll let you talk and ask questions. I can be long-winded, but I have fun.
All right, everybody, that's going to conclude part one of this two-part interview with Phil. I want to say thank you to Phil both for his time for the interview and for being a sponsor of the PBSCCS. This episode is really laying the groundwork for episode 2, in which we're going to get into protocols with the sauna and where Phil sees the future of the sauna going, especially in baseball. But even in this one, we laid a lot of groundwork. He went over a lot of research and a lot of different things, and how teams are using them in professional baseball. So be on the lookout for part 2. But in the meantime, you can check out all of their information on their website, relaxsaunas.com. They have the saunas, lamps, books. There's research on there, testimonials, the whole 9 yards. And then if you use the code MLB200 at checkout, you will get $200 off of your sauna purchase. So again, I want to say thank you to Phil both for the time and for the sponsorship of the PBSCCS, the support of the PBSCCS. And in the meantime, be on the lookout for part 2 in a couple weeks, and we will talk to you again on the next one.